Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
Let's get started right away. We have 3 new stories this week to tell or to listen to and watch. The Captain's Captain, Romance Roulette, and Hounded. And in parentheses, A Dog's Life.
Jason, when did this episode air?
This episode here was November 26th, 1977.
Oh, so this is a Thanksgiving episode or something
Gotta be
like
right
that,
around.
maybe?
I would think so, yeah, probably.
All right.
Doesn't have anything to do with Thanksgiving, but...
No, nothing.
Real quick, I'll read the IMDb description here. We have, the captain's father drives Merrill nuts, then takes a liking to a crew member, PJ Muldoon. Passenger Donald Flanders is trapped in his cabin by an attack dog. 3 college friends play romantic games with the ship's repairman's feelings, which is a little misleading because there was 3 people they played the game with, not just the repairman.
Except for the fact that, what game is this? Hooking up on a cruise ship and then never seeing them again? Isn't that just being on a cruise?
Well, that's what I thought, but they had a name for it, Romance Roulette.
They
too,
had a
which I thought
name
was
for it,
interesting.
but they had a name for something that everybody does. I'm not saying I've ever done that, but if 3 single girls are going on a cruise with the intense express purpose of hooking up,
Isn't that
they're doing what everybody else
cruise
does.
is supposed
But
to be?
they have an actual name
The
for
same
it.
crew over there is doing the same
Yeah.
group of people that came on the cruise. Yeah. Let's check out our guest stars this week. First off was Gary Berghof. He plays Donald
Berghof?
Flanders.
Berghof?
Berghof. Yeah. I don't know.
Radar O'Reilly is what we will be calling him for the rest of this.
Or we could call him
podcast.
Flanders, which is what I kept calling.
They did kept saying Flanders. Yeah,
So,
but that's distracting.
I know it's very
because he's not
Simpsons-like,
Flanders.
but
He's Radar. That's
he's
what
Radar.
he is.
We'll call him Radar. Again, I'm probably going to call him Flanders just because that's how I
That's fine. I
how,
will
how
call
I
him
watch
Radar.
how I watch this episode. Yeah, but he's in 2. This is his first of 2 Lifeboat episodes. He plays 2 different characters.
Okay.
So, but I thought maybe I don't want to spoil it because I might have said something. So
Please
I don't
don't.
wanna spoil it.
Don't spoil.
Apologies. But again, you said you know him from MASH. He was in 2 episodes of After MASH, which I thought might be. He was also in the MASH movie. Did you know that?
He's the only MASH movie alum to go to the TV show. And then just because I was a MASH fan, I know that they actually intended on making a spin-off of him, Radar, when he left MASH. And it was going to be, his name was Walter.
Yeah.
And they were going to, Walter with the dots in between, like the MASH had the dots in between. So it was going to be Walter. They never ended up doing that. But then when they made After MASH with Jamie Farr and Colonel Potter and Father Mulcahy, he was on the
And
show
that was
a
only
couple
2
times.
seasons. I
Yeah, I watched After MASH because I was like, that was at my time.
He didn't act in a lot either. He's only been in 25
I was
things.
going to say, I didn't
roughly.
know. I've never seen him in anything but
But
Love
those
Boat
MASH,
and MASH.
Yeah. And I think if maybe an episode of, I don't know if he was in Fantasy Island. I might be jumping ahead there, but I think he might have done an episode.
I'm pretty sure every single person that was on Love Boat was on Fantasy Island as well.
Our next guest star was Judy Canova. She plays PJ Muldoon. I only saw her. This is 1 episode of the Love Boat. I didn't recognize her in anything else, and she died in '83 from cancer. So short, maybe just 5. I guess 6 years after.
Was
this.
she smoking while cooking? Because in my mind she was, but she might not have been.
She had that look to her that
So let me just ask this while I'm making this sauce over here. I didn't know her from anything else. She did not stand out to
she
me.
didn't stand out. Then we had a 30-year-old Jane Curtin who was 2+ years into SNL at this point.
And looking quite good, I might add. I don't remember Jane Curtin looking that good on SNL, but that's late night makeup, I guess.
This is
to
her one
network.
and only episode of The Love Boat. You may know her from SNL, Kate and Alley,
Kate and Ally,
Coneheads, Third Rock from the Sun, were some of her big.
Third Rock, great show.
Yeah, some of her big shows there. Phil Silvers plays Merrill Steubing Sr. or Stubby.
Or Captain. Apparently, he feels he's captain of the ship.
That's true, Captain. He's in 2 episodes, 2 different characters. So his next episode, he will not be playing Steubing's dad, I guess.
So is Steubing just supposed to forget the fact that this person looks just like his father when he gets on boat?
Yeah,
on
board. That's something hard to hide, I would think, right? I mean, you look just like my dad.
Phil Silver's he has a specific look.
Yep. Let's see. He was Phil in the Phil Silver show. He played Sergeant Bilko. Let's see.
And then Sergeant Bilko, right? That was a show.
Yeah, it
like,
was the
by
Phil
itself,
Silver
right?
show And then he played Sergeant Bilko on the Phil Silvers.
But then I
right?
think it was
And
its
then
own show. Like
right?
Jackie Gleason
And then there was
played
a
the
movie.
Honeymooners on the Jackie Gleason show, and then they spun it off. Yeah.
And then the Flintstones, right? that's the story. That's where the Flintstones came from, right?
I don't think they can deny that.
He also played Roscoe Piccolo. Do you know who Roscoe Piccolo is?
I know Roscoe P. Coltrane. I don't know
Roscoe Piccolo is Jenny Piccolo's dad on Happy Days.
Figures if there was a Happy Days connection, you would find it.
He played Jenny's dad, but in real life, that's Jenny's dad because she's Kathy Silvers. That's Phil Silvers.
Jenny Piccolo's father on the show is her father in real life. That's kind of interesting. Yeah. Good for her.
There you go.
And that's funny because she was one of those characters on Happy Days that they talked about for years before actually introducing her.
She didn't come into the later seasons. When Richie left,
you always
right?
heard about Jenny Piccolo but never saw her.
I wonder if Richie was still around when she came in. When she first,
probably
she
not.
may have. Maybe
they had to add characters once Richie and Ralph left and stuff like
then,
that.
When McGinley came.
McGinley. Talking about McGinley before with Revenge of the Nerds. Although we weren't doing that here.
Yeah, what's his name in that? I can't think of that.
Who cares? Jefferson? All right.
That was good, though. David Landsberg, he's playing Morton. He has 3 episodes, 2 different characters.
Is Morton the short guy?
He's the one that...
God, he looks so familiar to me. I looked him up. I could not find anything that I knew he did.
He was the banker. He was the bank manager in The Jerk. Does that help?
It does. That's what I know him from. Sure.
He also
because he had the Omni grip on his glasses. Yes, indeed. Oh my God, that is awesome that you found.
I got it written down.
I was looking it up. I'm like, I know this guy from something. What is it from? It is from The Jerk.
I had something written down here that he was in that I knew him from was he's only in one episode, but McLean Stevenson had a little show called Hello Larry.
Yes, Hello Larry. I think he had a McLean Stevenson show too.
But Hello Larry was the Different Strokes spinoff.
Oh, okay.
And that's where he was Drummond's friend or whatever. But he was in an episode of that. So yeah. Vincent Baguetta, he played Frank Fallon, the plumber. He was in an episode of everything in the 70s and 80s. I didn't see anything that was like more than a couple episodes at the most. So I didn't even write down so it's just, but like everything you could think of. It's like
you name it, he was in it for an episode or 2.
Joanna Kearns, she plays Beth. She's only 24 years old in this. Best known as the mom, Maggie Seaver on Growing Pains.
Sure enough.
Also movies like Knocked Up, Girl Interrupted. I wrote this one down for you.
Knocked Up, huh?
Yep.
I don't remember her.
She was in 2 episodes of season 1 of V.
Oh, she's Mike Donovan's wife. Oh, yes, I know her from that.
And she was in a 2-episode Three's Company. She was in 2 episodes of Three's Company.
Like Jack's girl, or who knows? 2 episodes of the same girl?
That I didn't look. I could have went a little further.
We don't have to do that.
Tune into our Three's Company podcast.
But I'd like to know how tall she is, because when she was dating the guy from The Jerk, she looks like she's 7 feet tall. Unless he
stood. I'm jumping ahead again.
He stood up on the deck to kiss her.
Yeah.
I mean,
spoiler alert. Susan Heldfon, she plays Toby Chapman, who I thought looked really hot.
Was she the third girl
she was
there?
The brunette, yeah.
Man, she looks so familiar. I could not.
She was in only 10 things.
Okay, I looked her up real quick and could not.
This was her one episode that she was in as well.
She looked like someone. I was like, oh yeah, I know she's from something. And then I did a quick search and couldn't find anything else. So I think I kept her name's Toby, right?
Toby, yes.
I think I kept getting a guy popping up. I'm like, I'm not looking for the lawyer Toby Chapman. No. I'm looking for somebody else, and I couldn't get it.
I had one other special guest star, Monty O'Grady. He's in 10 different episodes as 4 different characters, but he has over 400 IMDb credits, which I just thought was pretty impressive.
And one of them is this episode.
Yeah.
And what did he play in this episode?
This episode, I think it was just Passenger or something like that. I'll confirm.
I believe I also have a credit in this as Passenger as well.
He was in this Passenger, uncredited.
That's uncredited.
Yeah, he was.
How
born,
do you know he's credited?
He was born 1916, 2000, because he's on IMDb.
1916.
Yeah, he was born 1916.
So he's long dead.
Died in 2000 at age 84.
Wow.
But
all the way to
he was
2000.
in Mannix, so yeah, he's been like all that kind of stuff. But Minister, he played bar patron. In Murder, She Wrote, he played a bar patron.
Is he one of the other guys at the bar when they come up and order drinks in this one?
But he has no name. Like in the Karate Kid, the movie, he played a club patron.
There you go.
That's it. He played a courtroom spectator.
He got
in Dr. Detroit.
He made a life for himself with 400 credits. He made it to 80.
Yeah.
Doing nothing.
He made it to 80 doing 14 episodes of Heart to Heart.
Oh, wow. He's probably a bit player on that, though. If you have 14 credits on the
5
same show.
episodes of Little House on the Prairie. Do you want to know what his...
I do not.
He has 2 characters in this one. One's bartender. The other one's
town person.
You got it before I even said it.
Oh, my God.
That is just... Oh, but no, I that's still impressive, I think, to have 400...
I really think that this guy, he died in 2000, right? His family created his IMDb page and just basically said, our dad was an extra in 400 things. We were going to put him on IMDb. And
wasn't Pops in 6 episodes of Charlie's Angels? Yeah, he played the racetrack patron, the waiter, the spectator, the ship passenger. Don't forget he was the casino patron in that one.
That's right, casino patron.
And
I remember that one.
What was his last one? Oh, yeah, Bellhop.
This is all out of jealousy. I wish I could be all. I wish I could have all.
Listen, if I could have
credits.
1 credit, just so I can get the screeners, the DVD screeners, so I can get all the new movies that way.
I think you have to do more than 1 for that, but
probably. But if I could get like a commercial, like "Where's the beef lady?"
Where's the beef lady?
Okay.
Nice.
Before we get into this episode,
I thought we were into it.
No,
it seems like we're into it.
Did you hear any Titanic jokes? Or
I did not hear a Titanic joke. I did see Doc acting Doc-like.
Doc is Doc. Oh boy, we really need to do a separate podcast about Doc. I think sometimes he
is. Although, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Also, I noticed
I don't want to get ahead of myself.
They showed the ship, and we see, it usually says Pacific Princess on it. Underneath it said London. I saw.
Oh, really? I did not notice that.
I saw. So I was,
stock footage of another boat.
I wonder if it was like that. Yeah, but
and I did know that they said the one town where they were going to drop off that one unruly passenger.
Oh yeah, it was the one that Brian.
It was Montalban or
Ricardo
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, they said that. That was the only thing I heard the entire cruise.
They make him so hard. Mazatlan. And then Puerto Vallarta. That's not an easy one after you've had it.
If you hadn't watched Love Boat, you wouldn't know what Puerto Vallarta is. You're like, isn't that in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was the one? San Pedro. We said, is
that
San
Pedro?
Like, that's California.
Yes. In fact, that got brought up today, or in this episode. Today, 35 years ago.
Wow, look
on
at
this
that.
episode.
Yeah, 77, yeah. Okay, let's get this started, I guess.
My God.
There he is.
Should.
Henry Coleman.
If you've been listening this far in, we're going to get started now.
Yeah, if you skip ahead.
Oh, yeah. Timestamp. Go now. And we're watching all these old people getting on the boat.
It seemed
lots
like
of gray hairs getting on this boat.
We see Gary Berghof, or I apologize, Radar. He shows up and he's very gung-ho. He's excited to be
on vacation. I'm here to sun and fun.
He said he doesn't care. She said he has a nice cabin. He doesn't care because he's there for sun and fun. Yeah.
Yep. And she's like, wow.
There's lots of activities.
Doc, I believe, says something about him coming out of his shell. Can't wait to meet him after he comes out of his shell.
One of the good lines there was, he said, so she gave him cabin F-131. I know I like to give out the cabin numbers and everything when we have that. And she says, oh, it's a lovely one. And he says, who cares? Never going to be in there anyway. I'm here for sun and fun. And he says, can I swim now? She says,
yes.
Yeah. He says, funny, I couldn't do that this morning. That was Gary's or
Doc,
Radar's line.
Can I play piano? Yes. I never could before. Yeah. That was the oldest joke in the book.
I know, but
told by Radar O'Reilly. That's great.
Yep.
And now we get Phil Silvers coming on, and it is
we find out that's he's the captain's pops.
Yep.
And basically,
and he's an ex-World War II Navy captain.
The crew was a little nervous about him coming on too because I guess they had heard things from Captain about how his father is very stern. And I'm gonna put it right out there. He runs a tight ship.
He does. He is no fun, but also he's a World War II captain. This is a pleasure cruise. There's a lot of difference, and he brings that up a lot. Where he's like,
"This is 30 years from the war's been over for 30 years."
But
now.
There's a difference between trying to fight a war and have a cruise ship.
Yes,
so
definitely. Yeah,
the fact that he brings up
the captain,
we would have done this back in the day, but.
Captain brings something up along those lines.
Torpedoes.
I think, later on.
So
Okay,
here's
so
Joanna Kearns getting her. She meets her friend, and who's this? This is Toby. Somebody.
This is Toby here, and we find out that Toby is staying in the promenade deck 204,
Right,
and Joanna Kearns is in 205.
And Gopher keeps telling them
Gopher's
their room.
trying really hard to tell them, and we find out that Toby was Tubby Toby in college. She lost 35 pounds since graduation. Andy, if you want to just plug your total loss so far, how many lbs is it now?
Unofficially, 18 pounds.
18. So you're halfway to Tubby Toby's weight loss.
Well,
there. She
I'm
lost
still
35.
I'm still triple her weight, but I'll get down there. I'll be her weight eventually. And then Jane Curtin shows up.
Jane Curtin shows up, and she finds out that Toby again has lost weight, and we find out that Toby did the triple D diet. And that was desperation, disgust, and divorce.
And divorced twice.
Toby is divorced twice from Fred, Toby and Neil, and Toby and Fred, I believe.
Now, how old are they supposed to be? Are they they're college friends, right?
Yeah, Joanna Kearns is 24 here, so probably
so right out of college.
I think it was
years.
a 5-year period. She said where she had the 2 marriages. We get my favorite Bon Voyage scene here.
Yeah,
we see
and there's the short guy. I see him.
Radar,
Radar,
Morton, and
Radar,
Stubby,
Sergeant Bilko, and Stubby are all saying goodbye. It's always amazing how they get the main stars to say goodbye right next to each other. I'm so bringing confetti with us on our
What I wanted to bring up real quick on the Bon Voyage scene there. Radar was taking pictures. You're leaving, like you're taking pictures of your family that just dropped you off.
There's a big deal with him with the camera.
I know
that comes up later. But
I know, but
he
still,
has a camera on him.
I thought it was lazy writing. You don't take pictures of as you're leaving the cruise. You see that film for when you're out at Mazatlan.
Mazatlan. That's in Mexico? Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I don't know.
I haven't heard of that 3 podcasts ago, probably. I'm still not hearing about it.
They go there every week.
I know they go to Cabo and they go to Puerto Vallarta.
Cabo is the least one that they've done. I think Cabo has been a couple times. Puerto Vallarta.
Listen, they don't mention wherever they're going anytime. It's just
usually you'll hear it over there like,
But they mentioned Mazel Tov a couple
Gopher
times.
gives the morning announcements, so we hear something on that.
Sure, it's not Radar. This is his job on MASH.
All right, so yeah, that bothered me. So,
what bothered you?
I forget what I just said. Oh, it was he was taking pictures.
Yeah, but you're taking pictures of the confetti flying. That's all fun, no?
I thought it was weak.
Okay.
All right, so we get Stubby in Meryl's office here.
He is senior. He's Meryl Stubing senior, right?
Yeah, but they never talked about Meryl being a third, right?
He's
or a junior. I'm sorry, he'd be a junior.
Well, he's a junior now. Is Vicky junior? Or it's the third? Sorry, Jesus.
Stubing Senior says that the Pacific Princess is amazing. Captain says thanks. He says it's amazing that we've been at sea for 45 minutes and you've been at the bridge for exactly 4. I thought that was another great Phil Silver's line there. And we get Gopher coming in, kind of wanting to speak to the captain because there's an issue with the engine.
The ENGINE.
Yeah, he spelled it all the way out in case Phil Silver's had a problem with spelling.
That's his way of getting around a adult by spelling something out.
The guy fought for his country World War II.
Now, in all honesty, if you want to fool me, spell it out. I'll be like, oh, Jesus Christ.
What, like McKine?
McKine. MACIHINE.
So basically, Senior ends up going off to fix the...
Stubing says something there about trusting his lieutenant captain or co-captain or
his,
whatever his first underling
deputy
is.
Captain?
Maybe
say
that's what
deputy
it is.
captain. Brian?
He says something about that.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think he said that.
I can't hear you. You're not on mic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah. The ladies love that. Oh, yeah. Ow, ow.
Brian's, when this podcast actually becomes something, Brian's going to be the one all the women are flocking to. They're gonna be,
that's Jazoo74 at Twitter.
Brian. Oh, you ugly motherfuckers. Where's Brian?
Oh, yeah.
See,
you sound like that and you look like that? That's what
I just promised I wouldn't curse on this podcast, and there I go.
Did you curse?
I just said MF because
I didn't even hear it.
I was talking about Brian. He makes me
he's
want
a sexy
curse.
mother.
My children's mother.
I didn't know where that was going. I was holding on to every word there. I was like, where's it going? He's recording, too.
That might be the first time I've ever heard him say that. Well, definitely the first time I've ever heard him say that. But
And this is a good segue. I was just complaining about bad writing. I thought this was some bad writing right here.
Oh, this?
Yeah, because how does this dog get into his room?
This is ridiculous. But they did mention it before.
Wait,
earlier.
I know that the dog was loose.
But
there's no way this dog's gonna...
But we didn't talk about it. But they did say
there's a
earlier
dog loose,
there's a dog loose, a guard
but this dog does have thumbs, so he can open a door and get into his cabin.
Listen,
nonetheless, he took a shower. He's coming out of the shower.
When the people are cleaning the rooms before the cruise, all the doors are probably open. They're just probably running.
And I'm
in
sorry,
and out.
but every move that dog made, he took it as like a sign of like force. He was like,
it's a guard dog. It's doing its job.
I know. No, but at the same time, he was trying to get him to, here's the phone. He was trying to give him the phone. And he's like, So he's like running away. He was like, everything that he should have went towards it, he didn't. So
if you're questioning the logic of this,
I
really have to, we have to dive.
Look, I'm putting my sword down on this hill. I'm putting my sword down on this.
We have to dive deep because there are times where I actually said to myself, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
You're going to let the dog prevent you from leaving this room? But 30 minutes in, yes, that is the answer to every question. Yes, he's preventing you from leaving this room.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We'll get there. Okay. Did you want to talk about his hands?
Not yet.
I didn't know if this was the scene.
So this is Gary Berghof putting on his Cologne.
Yeah, I thought we saw it here a little bit.
He is
right there.
He's got an issue with his hand, and so you can tell he hides it as much as possible.
And so again, it's a surprise guard dog that we forgot to mention at the top of the episode that has gone missing.
A guard dog from the boat? Is that what it is?
And right there, the dog tried to signal like, "Let's get out, go out the door." He ran to the door. That was a signal to the door. Gary stayed and runs back into the bathroom.
Then the dog locks the door right there. It jumps on. But this is a boat that allows everybody to walk on it. Everybody can walk on this boat.
So why not a dog?
There's a guard dog? Guarding what? What is it guarding? Because everybody walks on this boat. Every episode we've watched, there's just random people going like, okay, I'm done. Bon voyage. And they walk off. But that dog's guarding nothing.
And how they end up like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got enough. That's everybody.
They did say that to Radar at the beginning when he got on, and they said, we haven't even assigned you your cabin yet. I was like, really? He doesn't even know where he's staying? Because that would matter to me.
Yeah.
You've got a windowless inner toilet on the Fiesta deck. Have fun.
Limited view.
Zero view. I'm not paying any extra for getting a balcony on the promenade deck.
Here we get Toby and Beth come over to Jane Curtin's room, which, by the way, all three are smoking.
No doubt. This is probably the best female representation on the show so far. Sorry. Is that sexist? Probably.
Extremely, but I'm going to go with it.
Other than Connie from last week.
Yeah.
Was she the twin?
No,
Connie was the one trying to steal the job from Julie.
Oh yeah. But this is three very attractive
The twins,
women.
that was like 6 episodes ago.
Come on, man. What are we doing? You throwing me under that bus?
No, I think that the twins was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
I believe it was at least 2 episodes ago, if not 3.
You're really asking me to think back to last week.
Okay, so here we get.
So these women play a game
we find out
called.
They
play a game called "Let's Hook Up with Guys and Break Up with Them Before They Get Off the
Brian,
Boat."
what's the name of this game that they're playing?
Something roulette.
Romance roulette.
Yes.
Something roulette. It's a word that begins with R. Roulette. But these girls,
Russian.
But these girls are doing anything anybody. I guess one of the problems I have with this show is that
Also, we don't get all the details of the game here because we didn't get the code word until a little bit later.
well, now we get it right here. But the fact that any of these people think they're going to have relationships after this boat docks in L.A. at the end.
Also, Joanna Kearns was mad at Jane. She said, "You're not wearing that bathing suit."
Oh, that's right.
That
She
was one.
looks like an old lady or something like that.
She said, "Beth." She said, "The only person she could pick up in that is Jacques Cousteau."
Listen, Jacques Cousteau at this
I
point
know,
was
that's what I'm saying. That's the 70s,
He was a
right?
big guy.
That was like PBS, all those shows. He had a lot of shows on back then. I'll give him that. We had Not Isaac serving drinks here, and this is where Toby, Beth, and Regina come up with the code word.
Wait, not Isaac serving drinks?
Yeah, because there was somebody else serving drinks. Was not Isaac.
Not
So I went,
Isaac.
not
serving
Isaac
drinks.
serving drinks. Yeah.
But Isaac's pouring drinks right now, right?
Well,
No?
On the screen here, yes, but the show went a little further ahead than my notes, so I wanted to just catch up my notes a little bit.
So wait a minute. So Isaac's
Right before this, Isaac.
There was
wasn't
another
there.
person that was not Isaac
Yeah.
serving drinks. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Isaac comes in shortly after that. Because somebody else, not Isaac, is pouring the drinks before we get the code word. After the code word, Isaac's pouring the drinks.
Very
Somebody else.
interesting. I
It
did
wasn't.
not know
It
that.
wasn't a like. It wasn't messed up. It was just two different like drinks over here and then drinks over here.
Oh,
So it wasn't
okay.
like.
So Isaac just happened to come behind the bar when it was time for the main character.
I think he was
start
outside
ordering.
of the bar even too. So it might have even
Because Isaac, remember, he has to serve the drinks as well. Because that's what would happen on a bar
spill
like
them
this.
too.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet, but he'll do that soon.
Okay, so screwdriver is the code word, and we find out basically for the game here is whoever's up first, the first person that they hear say the word screwdriver, they go and pick them up. Basically, we're hit on it and pick them up. So it didn't go as planned at first here because Doc comes up
Not
first.
Jane Curtin, Joanna
Kearns,
Kearns,
yeah.
Mrs. Seaver. Sorry,
Maggie Seaver.
She'll
we're
just
gonna
be
call her.
Mrs. Seaver now.
We got all Simpson references here. We got Maggie. We got Flanders.
So Mrs. Seaver goes up when she sees Doc up there, and he says something about
Yeah, Doc.
orange juice and vodka.
He was getting a refill
and-
for another
yeah.
passenger, and Mrs. Wilson, if you were wondering who that passenger was. And
God
that's
damn, she's drinking already,
but that's
Mrs.
exactly-
Wilson. She's got a problem.
That's exactly what he orders. He orders her an orange juice and vodka, so he doesn't technically say the
He
word.
does not say the word, but Joanna thinks that he's going to say the word. So she jumps up onto the bar, looking at Doc, saying, "Say the word."
And she basically said, "Haven't we met somewhere before?" And that's when Morton comes up and says screwdriver, and then she says, "Haven't we met somewhere before?" She starts hitting on him right there, and he says Hackensack. He wonders if they knew each other from Hackensack, which is
We've all
funny
met
because
Hack-
they're in L.A. for the cruise, so he probably came from Hackensack to L.A. for his cruise. So that's
Hackensack was big at this time. Miss Tessemacher was from Hackensack. And Superman.
Oh,
And
all right.
he's about to save her a year later, and he's about
That's
to
78, right? Yeah.
prevent Hackensack from falling into the sea. Sorry.
It's all right. That's
I've been drinking.
That's what we're here for. That's the deep dive you get here on Exciting and New.
It's probably not even Hackensack. It's somewhere in North Jersey, though, for sure.
Hackettstown. Or something like that.
Secaucus. I don't know. Something like that.
Is Hackensack a sea town?
Isn't everything in New Jersey a sea town? We're
much,
we're
yeah.
an hour from the ocean, but we're
Yeah.
still a sea town, I think.
I would say so, yeah.
So she picks up the guy from the Jerk.
Yes.
It's so awesome that guy's from
And,
the Jerk.
and this
I was watching this whole stupid episode, watching this guy, and I'm like, I know him from something. He is so from the Jerk.
and we get Isaac trying to give him his drink and he just waves that drink off because he's got Joanna Kearns now.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's like,
Yeah.
he is batting way above his level here.
Real
Although
quick
we'll
here,
find
I
out
had
he's-
something. All right, so now we're going to get Toby and the Doc. So we get Toby and Doc here.
Toby and the Doc.
And Toby walks up to Doc. She says, "I don't want to be forward, but can I pick you up?"
Now, did he say screwdriver? Does Doc say screwdriver?
He does.
Does he say it?
But after
Yeah.
Morton says it.
After Morton says it, yeah.
That's fine.
So that's
But
why
does
it gets
he-
Toby that it's her turn.
Does he say it, and that's why
Yeah.
she
He does
jumps
say
up?
it,
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yep.
Because I had a problem with that when she jumped up and started talking to him. I'm like, why does she get Doc?
She was super happy because he
Yeah.
said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she goes,
I must have missed that, and I did
and
not
she
rewind.
hops up and says, "Can I pick you up?" And Isaac has a great line here. He says, "Can Blue Surge pick up lint?" So I looked up what
I heard
Surge
it. I know.
was.
I was like, what the hell does that mean?
I looked up what Surge was. It's a durable twilled woolen or
That would pick up dirt.
worsted fabric. So I was like, what the fuck does worsted mean? And worsted means fine, smooth yarn. Didn't you think it would sound something? It would be like maybe a crappy fabric, but it's fine, smooth yarn. Yeah. So I looked at those definitions.
When he said that, I was like, I have no idea what that means, but I bet it's some kind of fabric that picks up whatever he said. Wool.
But now
or-
I want to get like.
But the fact that you did the deep dive on that.
I was like, I'm thinking, am I the only one that didn't know what a surge was?
No,
You
I
know,
did
it's
not
like-
know, and nor did I care. I just figured it was something I didn't know. That's the benefit of not being the main person on this, just the comic relief, because I can just basically say, I didn't even know that.
But-
that's a thing.
So she says, "Can I pick you up?" And then, so after that whole surge line and everything, Doc's next line is, "Want to see my cabin?" They leave and they go to his cabin.
Listen, Doc is not messing around. He's like, we are a day and a half into this 5-day cruise, so I have to get moving here.
So this leaves Regina by herself.
By the way, how does Doc have any time to actually be a doc when the passenger does not medical attention? There have been passengers.
He was getting a drink for someone too there.
So he was like, he's hitting on some woman. He's like, I'll be right back, get you a drink. And he's like, I got this one.
I think he had a notepad and pen. He was writing orders down.
He had a 80% chance with the woman he's getting a drink for, and obviously he gets 100 thrown in his lap. He's like, why am I wasting my time?
Did Mrs. Wilson ever get her a drink?
She's sitting over there. Where was that nice doctor that was just sitting next to me?
He said, I was going to ask him about that melanoma on my shoulder.
Doc.
Then it was ridiculous because
the
Doc leaves with Toby, and then 3 guys come up, and they're like, somebody's going to order a screwdriver here, right?
Of course.
And the guy orders an orange blossom. I didn't.
He said the drink with the orange juice in it. You're like, say the word, and then he didn't say the word.
He went orange blossom. And I didn't look up what an orange blossom was.
This is 3 college-age men, and they did not say beer. And you can't say the beer on TV. I get it. You can't say Bud, Miller, Coors. You cannot say those words, but it's just so funny that they're just like, ordering fruity cruise drinks and not.
Like in the movie Clerks,
every
time they went in the convenience store let me get a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
It's like
any kind. Winston's, Marlboros, what do you want?
They sold them to that little girl.
Want Virginia Slims? Sold to the little girl.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know I'm hitting the wire.
That's all right.
I'm a violent podcast.
So here we get Frank the plumber shows up to fix something behind the bar there for Isaac. He was in the engine room with Stubby there. So he
trying to fix engine 2, right?
And Regina's there, and he asks for a screwdriver, the actual utensil. And or tool, I guess I could say, or utensil. That worked.
That works.
And they make eye contact, and again, a very pretty Jane Curtin here.
Let me tell you something. Best looking plumber I've ever met. I've known a lot.
Frank Fallone's eyes were dreamy.
I was like, sorry. I'd hook up with that guy if he came up. He's like, here to clean your clog. I'd be like, I got a clog for you, buddy. Let's go.
He was unclogging your dream.
Yes, I'd be like, oh, I guess this is how it happens. Because this plumber showed up and asked to do it.
We show back up at cabin F-131, and Flanders is cracking open the door.
Sounds like some kind of mystery. The cabin F-131.
This is where we see a telephone on the table there. So it looks like he's trying to grab the phone with a wire hanger.
Because Radar's afraid the dog's going to eat the phone or something like that. He's so slow he can't grab a phone before the dog grabs it. Look at him go.
This is my least favorite story, by the way.
Wow. It's a contrived story more than any of the other stories.
This is where I was showing you. Here's where the dog tries to give him the phone, and that dog doesn't look scary there to me. I don't know.
As we know what happens with this dog later on, this is the
that they slaughtered it.
Well, they put it down later on. They put it down, but this is the best trained dog ever. Listen, I don't know what happens to this dog.
At one point, I was wondering,
but. There's a good chance this dog is no longer alive.
The scene where he first sees the dog, which we already passed, and he comes out.
He's on the bed?
Yeah. That was 2 different screens. I don't know if you noticed.
Oh, I did not.
The dog was barking at him, and he's like looking over, but you could tell he's like looking up here, and the dog's here.
I am not a brave person. There is not a dog on this planet that I would not just walk up to and stick my hand in front of his face and be like, "What's up there, doggy?" A big guard dog like that, a big scary looking German Shepherd, I would be like, "How you doing? I'll just put my hand in front of you, and now we're pals."
One thing, once Radar realizes that
the pause, the Flander, Radar, good, I love it.
Radar doesn't have the phone, and
because the dog has the phone.
Right? But then Radar says to the dog, "Dial somebody and tell them a dog is in my cabin." It's like,
that's awesome.
It's just so cheesy.
Well, it's so stupid.
I love it.
It's so stupid that a person can't outwit a dog. To get at, but it's a stupid TV show. That's what we want.
He fought in Korea, didn't he?
Well, he was a company clerk.
Yeah, he was there.
He was a company clerk.
He saw some shit.
Oh, he saw some shit. Listen, I saw
11
Dice. Seasons of MASH.
He saw a young Dice.
He did see a young Dice. He saw a young Opie also.
That's right. I forgot Opie was
an underage Opie fighting in Korea. Although he was already an underage Mayberry person. How's that all work out?
And wasn't Opie underage when Fonzie touched him? I'll go there every day.
I did not see that
That's
episode.
a second Happy Days reference, right?
You can make a Happy Days reference every sentence.
True.
You could talk about underage Fonzie or underage Richie. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, underage Fonzie. That's a long time ago. Julie looking really nice. in her
Henry
red
Winkler,
dress.
if you're out there, Henry Winkler, we love you.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on the podcast. You're my favorite celebrity that I met. So. Julie in this beautiful long red gown. She's eating at the captain's table tonight, and she wanted to look the part.
I don't know how she gets invited to the captain's table randomly.
Why? Like, where does she eat if she's not at the captain's table?
Is she at
right?
that table? We saw Gover and Doc eating that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah,
where they
a
were
lot of times they show her with one of those guys sitting at like a little table.
Right.
Yeah, or she's
which is
with-
fine. That's
It's with
great.
somebody that she was. Since she's probably maybe mid-20s in this, she's with one of her 30 guys over the 10 seasons.
I'd
that
really
she
like to
spent-
think that,
each guy that she spent 5 years with in the past, it doesn't add up.
I'd really like to think when I'm on my cruise, I don't want to see the crew eating. Like you eat behind. You eat behind
I think,
the
I
scenes.
think we know whose side he was on
Yeah.
later on
I
in this
don't-
episode.
I don't
Don't
want
we,
to. I don't
Brian?
want to see her out there eating like a regular person.
Wow.
It's off-putting.
He would have
does
just
he-
slapped PJ.
It's
Who do you
off-putting.
think you are?
It's
Like,
off-putting.
I'm
I'm here
team-
on my
I'm team
vacation. Now
PJ.
there's the crew eating right next to me.
I'm Team
Oh.
PJ. I'm sorry.
I'd like to go on record that I would not care who's eating at the table, at my table. You want to sit down at my table and be like, I'm eating here. I'm like, all right, let's go.
You got an extra chair there? Like, I'm going to use it. Like, I don't care. Is it going to ruin my food? No, I'm good.
I definitely wouldn't mind if it was Julie.
Oh, good Lord. She had the white pants on again today. Oh, good Lord.
This season one Julie is top notch.
With those pants. Those white pants are, you don't see white pants anymore.
Not like that. They're made different because
People wear them different.
Yeah.
Women don't wear them on the hips like they wore them back in 1977.
we know those hips don't lie, Brian.
That's true. I think I'm going to get Christine hooked on Coke.
Again, I have no idea where he's going with these.
I think I understand what he's saying. He wants to get his wife hooked on Coke.
I understand where he's going with it.
I know a guy, by the way. Not Coke. He can sell you pants. So when you're ready. All right, sorry.
All right, no, we're good.
Brian said something, so we had to take a diversion.
Of course. I mean, here we had, so we get Steubing and Stubby coming to dinner.
And Phil Silvers has the long white coat. Very nice, very classy. But again, he is a World War II.
Yeah, they're arguing about how he should be controlling the ship more. Yeah. He's not doing that, and he says there's computers for that. And he said a computer won't win the world, win the war. And he says, I'm not trying to. And then he said, how are you going to find a new world? He said, I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to find Mexico.
Yep.
He did. There was a shout out to Mexico there.
Mexico. Well, they should shout out Mexico in every episode because that's all where they're going to.
Mazatlan, Mexico.
Mazel tov. What? Oh, I thought we were Mazel tov.
I got it.
What is it? Say it again.
Mazatlan.
Mazatlan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Mazel tov.
We're going to Mexico, in March.
What
But
part?
not Mazel tov, right?
No, the other side.
Puerto Vallarta?
No.
If you were going to Puerto Vallarta, that would
Oh,
be great.
I would hashtag Pacific Princess or something like that.
Pacific Princess London.
Whatever the kids do today. Hashtag Insta Snap something.
I thought this was an interesting scene. We have Beth and Morton at a dinner, and at the very end there with the waiter, Morton says, and an extra breadstick.
And she orders for him. She orders everything. To a this, and he's just like, whatever.
then,
she has to tell him which hand to drink the
the-
wine at it because he's about to just dump it on his own chest.
But,
But let me tell you something.
There's definitely some sparkles there.
I've known some gamers in my life. She is a gamer. She picked a dud, and she is playing this game. She's like, I picked this guy.
Yeah.
I'm banging him, and I'm taking him out to dinner, and then I'll break up with him at the end. And I will break.
That's
this,
what romance roulette is.
I will break this little person's heart. And
We'll break this chain of love.
And by little person, I don't mean a little person. I mean this guy. He's
Morton, yeah,
whatever he
the
is.
bank manager from The Jerk.
We'll just call him the guy from The Jerk.
Here we get Regina ordering an Irish coffee, and
Room service. Too.
Isaac brings it to her.
Isaac, tending bar, serving drinks, doing room service
on the promenade deck. So,
hey, can you cover me right here? I have to go down 3 decks to deliver a coffee with Irish whiskey in it.
here we find out.
I believe that the cruise industry has developed a better system for dispensing room service and drinks at bars. Because as Brian and I have talked about, we've been on many cruises before, and many bartenders, many waiters. I've never gotten room service because I'm not highfalutin, but just the fact that poor Isaac has to do all these jobs, my God.
I mean,
Julie's going to dinner in a red dress. Isaac is doing room service.
but I would think Isaac would be needed in a dinner for dinner
at a bar.
Yeah,
he's a bartender.
that's what I mean. Bartending at dinner.
You don't do room service as a bartender. You just don't do it. It's low class. Not for him. The cruise in and of itself.
And here we find out that Jane's rooming with Lord Byron.
Lord Byron, yes. Because all English professors read English literature.
Isaac made a joke. I should have brought you 2 Irish coffees, one for her,
right.
one for Lord Byron. And then he tells her if she's having a plumbing problem.
She asks for the number.
Do you remember what the number is?
I do, because it had 007 in it. I'm going to say it's 1007.
There you go. That's it. Yes. I had that written down here too. She almost dials it, then she just hangs up the phone there, like she was like about.
But this poor guy is probably on break now, or not working.
On
he's
call.
Like, I'm
He's
sleeping.
On call, right?
Don't.
He's on call.
When you're on this
shit,
cruise, he's on call all the time. But don't jerk him around just to wake him up and be like, "What's wrong with your plumbing?"
We saw some waves here, and this is when Gopher was making his morning announcements.
I thought you were going to tell me this is where it said Pacific Princess London.
Oh, we passed. That was in the beginning. Yeah, I should have pointed that out. So Gopher, or I'm sorry, Radar was
the boat could have been registered in London. Could have been.
It's possible.
I've never been on a boat that's been registered in the United States of America, yet I've cruised on all those boats. Anyway, Radar's in the tub.
Yeah, Radar sleeps in the tub.
Using the pissy mat you put under the toilet as a pillow.
At the time he's waking up in the tub there, Gopher is announcing that breakfast is being served in the Coral Dining Room. There's a full schedule of events, which is basically going against exactly what he wanted to do. He was like looking forward to all the events.
He wants to do everything. He wants to do everything. Yeah. But the little thing, the little rug you put under the toilet, like what's the point of that?
It's just
to catch all the piss?
Right.
Or to warm your feet while you're sitting? Like, I don't get that thing.
It's both, right? I think.
But it's both bad. Well, not bad if you're warming your feet, but if you have a man in the house,
you got to wash that a lot.
You don't want that thing.
Yeah.
You don't want it.
No.
It's just a target.
Or if you have kids.
Oh, well, if you want kids, if you have male kids, nothing in your bathroom is sacred. No. Yeah. All your Jesus pictures are getting splattered upon.
Well,
as a person that has Jesus pictures in the bathroom, I know he's going to get hit in the eye.
It happens.
I have no Jesus pictures in my bathroom. Speaking of my kids, this one's clicking over here.
That's one of your kids now.
Anyway.
All right.
Sorry.
No, that's right.
I went on a tangent. Just sleep in the bathroom.
Radar,
with the piss.
He comes running out there, but he finally grabs the phone and he gets a hold of someone.
I was really nervous up until this point. I was like, are they really going to stuff this guy in the bathroom this entire cruise? Is this really what's going to happen to him? And it does, but at least there was an out for him halfway through.
Yeah, there was a lot of people around the pool, I thought.
Very bikini-laden women. Laden?
Bin.
Bikini
Bin Laden. I think it's.
Is that the term we use today? As Afghanistan gets overrun again.
Boy.
Bikini Bin Laden women.
So yeah, we see, which I thought was funny during this scene too. You see all these people at the pool, but right there in the corner, you see Isaac. He's cracking up in this scene as he's walking across the right here. I just that I don't know, that made me laugh when I saw that.
And now, if you
there is
Julie a bartender working out of the bar back there.
Yes, I see a different guy in the red jacket
passing
back
out
there,
drinks, and there's another guy working. So at least he's not bartending and serving drinks by himself.
Doc and Julie are setting up a ping pong table here, and we get Captain Stubing comes over and just basically asking the crew to do things to keep
anything
Stubby
to keep
out of his hair,
father away from him. Yes, Stubby. Sergeant Bill.
And there was a couple of jokes there. I think that was the one with the hair. And he said, "Don't even think about it."
There was a couple jokes this episode about that must be the bald one or whatever. And he's like, "Don't even." Have we had any kind of experience with Stubing before this where he was put off by that? Never, right? Never was he like, "Don't call me the bald one."
No, just that pilot when he was just a mean all around and that.
Not a nice person then. He was a different character then.
This is where Stubing then goes off to the bridge, and then Stubby tries to go after him, but the crew keeps him back there. They're trying to get him to play ping pong, and they end up spilling tomato juice on him. And this is where Stubby picks up, "Oh, you're trying to keep me from going to the bridge to see my son."
He gets it, how he gets on. But you didn't have to do tomato juice. You could have spilled water on him. That would have slowed him down just as much.
Yeah.
You've ruined his nice yellow shirt.
How instantly the stain, too. Like, it's just, that was some thick tomato juice that he spilled on him.
As we find out later, he's looking to get the stain out. You throw the shirt out. This is a thrown-out shirt.
What was this sea salt, right? Is what he was going for?
But you're either throwing this out, or this is now I'm doing the lawn shirt. That's all this is now. You're not saving this for, I'm wearing this out one night.
And now he finally gets
tomato
himself
juice like that on it.
He says he's going to go fix the shirt or try to get the stain out of the shirt, and he walks away and basically tells them, "I'm not going to go to the bridge."
Well, he's like, "I get the hint. You guys are trying to prevent me from bothering Junior." So,
yep.
All right, I'm going to get some sea salt, which will be to his advantage.
Will it?
I think.
I'm saying, will it? Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. You're fine. Let's keep this going.
Am I jumping ahead too much? There's some kind of interaction between the crew. They're going to save. Radar from the ferocious German Shepherd.
Julie end up at Flanders' cabin, aka
Best
Radar.
Clip in the entire episode right there was when Julie opens the door.
How vicious the dog looked. See, now that's...
Did they stick a stick up his ass or something like that? That dog is like...
That's where I'm not kidding. Like, the other scenes, I didn't think the dog looked scary. That part, yes.
They had the camera. The angle was underneath. The dog was on...
How many takes do you think they had to do for that? I mean,
based on the fact that this dog acts so well, I'm saying he's a 2-take kind of dog. Okay. He's like, I'll do it twice.
So Cooper
for you.
Direct this.
I'll do it twice for you. I get it right on the first time, but you want a second angle, I'm doing it.
The 100 takes by Kubrick isn't going to. It's not going to happen with this.
This dog's not working for him. He's not doing The Shining. He is not doing that because he's like, I got it right the first time. Let's move on.
So we end up here in cabin
PR 204.
And this is Regina. Let's just get it going here. I'll show you.
It was Regina who?
Regina is Jane Curtin. And we got Toby and Beth. You know, I like the name Regina. I think it fits her.
I think Jane Curtin works.
They look so hot.
They are all very good-looking young women, for sure. And I got to be honest, Jane Curtin was never one of those women that I was like, oh, my God, Jane Curtin, like even back in the SNL days. But she's looking good on Saturday Night Live. She's looking good on Love Boat.
I was waiting for you to do it. You haven't done it yet, though.
The what's that?
Jane, you ignorant
slut. But I do remember Joanna Kearns.
Joanna Kearns.
Joanna
Maggie
Kearns?
Seaver.
Well, as Maggie Seaver. I remember even back in my young days. Like,
you know who she was married to, right?
Yeah, Alan Thicke. I remember.
What was his name on there?
Well, it was Mike Seaver, and he was...
That was Kirk Cameron, yep.
Yeah, goddamn. What was Alan
Brian, any guesses?
Alan Thicke's name was...
Dr. Seaver.
He was a doctor. He was a psychologist or something, right? He had his own patients in the office there. His name was... I am not going to remember.
Dr. Jason Seaver.
Jason. I'm looking at a Jason, and I can't even remember the name. But she was so hot on that. I remember just being like, this woman's smoking.
Oh, on Growing Pains?
Yeah. And she was probably, at that point...
Well, yeah, that was probably...
she's 24 here, so she was probably 34 then.
Early 30s, yeah.
She was way too young to have... Mike. 3 teenage kids.
Yeah,
but
Mike and
this is
Carol
TV.
And Ben.
It was only because Ben came later.
But
I'm getting confused with the Michael J. Fox show, Family Ties.
But also
because they had 3 kids, and then they had the 4th later
Leo
on.
comes in as the 4th kid. Leo DiCaprio comes in the last season or 2.
I didn't watch about that. I know that's where you did first, yes, but
because Family Ties had. They had the baby.
They then come later after all the
Ben is Growing Pains. Again,
Andy. It was Andy.
It
was Andy. It was Andy.
It is Andy.
Yeah.
Jason Seaver and Andy Keaton.
The baby that was
Alex
born.
P. Keaton and Andrew Keaton.
The baby that was born, and then the next season he was already 5 years old. Because you don't want a baby fucking up your shows, so you make him at least a cute.
And they were like, Tina Yothers just isn't doing what we wanted her to do. You know what I mean?
Poor Tina Yothers.
She tried.
Tina,
nice.
Come on our show.
Tina, I don't know if she's in any episodes of The Love Boat, but you're more than welcome to be our 4th mic.
fourth mic. We are actively looking for a fourth mic. Your name does not even have to be
we have
Mike.
plenty of guests. We keep asking to come on. They say yes, and then they don't want to come on anyway.
You're like, that stupid Love Boat show? No, I'm out.
Like, you still doing the Love Boat? That's when I get.
Let me know when you change to something that people watch.
Well, we did have a special request today for a podcast.
Monkeys.
Yeah,
maybe.
I haven't watched that show in.
I haven't watched it since MTV brought it back in the 80s. There,
probably last time I saw it too. Yeah, but if we do a monkey podcast, we have to go see the half monkeys that are still around.
Listen, if there's two's enough.
Yeah,
the Who tour with half the guys, it's enough.
Yeah, but
two's enough.
It would have been nice to get
Peter Tork's still alive,
but because Desi's been
Desi Arnaz, Davey.
Why did I say Desi?
I don't know,
Man,
but that's even better. Yeah. Desi Jones.
Desi Jones Locker.
Listen, I know why you said it, but
all right. So here we get
the big bag that's sitting right there in front of him. I know why you said Desi, Davey, Deidre, Diane.
We've all said different names. You couldn't come up with Jason Seaver, or we couldn't come up with Andy Keaton. So.
I can barely spell my own name right now, and I've been spelling it for many, many years.
Wait, years is the longer one, right? Yeah.
Centuries? I'm at least some centuries old.
I'm this many.
Half a century.
So we get Toby decides to call the 1007.
By the way, Toby, her character name or her real name?
Her real name was like Anne or something.
Okay.
Toby was her character name.
I think I Googled her character name when I was looking
up
who
I told you
was.
She was only in like 10 things. She didn't act a lot.
That's right. You did all the research. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Remember, Surge. I know.
I could have
I looked up what a Surge was.
I could have sworn I saw her as soon as this episode started, and then as it went on, I'm like, I guess I don't remember her.
When I saw her face really fast, I thought of Heather Langenkamp real quick.
Oh, okay.
I saw that.
Nightmare?
Yeah. But
which is funny, because when I look at her right here, she looks like the chick that got killed in Friday the 13th, part 3, with the machete when she was on the raft.
Ooh. That's not bad.
That's when he gets his masks.
That's Friday the 13th
mask.
box set.
Single mask.
Mask.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th. I've had Friday the 13th on my mind. Saturday the 14th. Great Richard Benjamin movie.
Benjamin, Paula Prentice, and Jeffrey Tambor. A lot of people forget Jeffrey Tambor.
I don't remember that. I saw that in the theater, though. But I
don't know. I don't think I saw that in the theater, but I remember watching that movie as a kid and just being like, "This is so fake," but I loved it so much. I mean,
Brian, Saturday the 14th.
I do remember that movie.
Yeah. Did you see it in the theater?
I did not. I saw it, I believe, on HBO.
Okay, because we would have been like 12, 13.
In the same theater?
Well, we're the same age. Many different theaters.
So that was around what? That was around 80.
I was going to say like 83 or something like that.
Because Friday the 13th came out in 80.
80.
So it was probably right shortly after that, yeah. Okay, so Toby dials 1007 and says she dropped her ring down the sink. And then her and Beth leave.
Yeah, they call and then leave. These girls.
They're like, Regina, play the game.
We're playing the game. Let's go.
Let's do this.
But she really, whatever. The
you
games
didn't
girls
like
play.
That? I like
the game girls play. Like, they don't have to try this hard. I'm always disappointed when women play things on TV or movies where it's like, let's have a game where we try to get laid. They do not need to try.
Yeah.
They do not need to try. I've known a lot of women. I haven't slept with a lot of women, but I've known a lot of women where it's not that hard. It's not that hard. They are playing a game of
especially on a cruise
ship. Those 3 horny dudes that came up to the bar right after this game started, they would have banged all these chicks within 5 seconds.
The fact that Morton's scoring, and luckily just because he said screwdriver, that's the only reason why he's getting laid right now, because he said screwdriver at that time.
I think it's also because he was in The Jerk as the accountant
with the omnigrabs. You think that's why Look,
I'm so glad you said that's what he's from. I swear to God, the whole time I'm watching this episode.
She came for the screwdriver. She stayed for the bank manager.
I think,
spoiler alert.
as awesome as these 3 women are, I think this episode would have worked a lot better if this was men with the romance roulette, as it's called, because
with the same 3 guys doing
it? 3 random guys coming on board saying, let's like hop in bed with 3 women and break up with them at the end. Because let me tell you something. I hate to be this guy, but the guys don't care. They're like, oh, you're breaking up with me now? Well, that was 5 great days. Sorry, I'll never see you again. But if it was women getting dumped by guys that they thought they had a chance with, and all of a sudden they're like, see ya, they're going to be hurt.
I can tell you, Doc plays this game every week. Doc went pro.
At the end, when Doc finds out, he's just like, so
he's like,
I said screwdriver. Good for me. And I got to bang you for 5 days.
Doc's like, game, recognized game. Doc.
They're even comparing. He's like 4, 2, 6 marriages between us.
So, he's like, he was writing it down. So
we're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm sorry. But
he's like, so you pick a code word and then you do what?
And how about next time you guys come on here, you tell me the code word. I'm like, I will be at that bar. The code word. The code word
Manhattan.
Is Chucky Dog.
Cosmo.
Do you have a
Martini.
Chucky Dog yet?
A martini. Whatever drink you want me to say.
I use the code word Chucky Dog just so Chucky Dog can
Chucky,
come over.
and then he tried to get up. He's like, ugh.
He's like, why are you doing that, guy? So anyway, they called. We're only at this part. Yeah. She hasn't even hooked up with this guy. We're so far ahead of ourselves.
We get
Phil
Stubby
Silvers
going
is walking
to
around
the,
with his
he walks right
shoot.
into the galley, the crew galley. He just helps himself. And which I thought was funny. There's a lady standing in there. He just walks right past her. She doesn't even look.
She doesn't say hi. He doesn't say hi. He's
until
just like, where's your sea salt?
Until he's in the middle of like moving cans in the background. She's just.
Are we really only at this point? I mean, my God, really?
Yeah.
We are an hour into this.
I think.
But how long we did the show? 15 minutes?
It picks up though. I mean, it picks up. We're about halfway. We're about halfway. So we get a little interaction here between PJ Muldoon. This is the first time we're seeing her.
First time?
First time in this episode, yeah.
Oh.
And in the show.
I thought you were saying first time, like first of many.
I've been scared, been nervous lots of times.
I shouldn't drink before the shows. I'm sorry. My bad.
So PJ's talking to him about sea salt not being the right stain remover here. So it's basically, they sound like two curmudgeons talking to each other.
And she talks about how this is her last cruise ever.
She's been at sea for 40 years, and they're basically forcing her into retirement.
I mean,
and
he
knows
odds,
something. He knows
odds
something.
that she found her on her last cruise ever. If
And
he cruised Julie, next week,
Julie points that out to the captain later on. And she's like, they're not so much, it's more into each other.
Yeah.
You know,
but the fact that this woman has been working the galley of cruise ships or some kind of ships for 40 years, and Phil Silvers finds her on her last cruise. Those odds are that's karma right there.
No, that's Kramer.
Oh, it's Kramer.
Michael Richards come on our podcast. So yes, he was forced. He's forced into mandatory retirement, and
I mean, he's forced into mandatory retirement. Can you see this man commanding a naval vessel in the 1970s? I mean, there's a reason why the military retires people. He is a old man.
Well, you figure it's 40. He's 40 years removed, or 30 years removed from the war.
Yeah, we're not fighting a lot of naval battles in Vietnam, and Vietnam's over by now. So, what do we need him for?
Yeah,
our next bunch of wars are going to be in the Middle East. Very little
this
water
is
there.
The Persian Gulf. We're telling future now. This is crazy.
Oh my God! Like, why'd they say World War II? We just fought the first one. What's happening? Is there going to be another one of these?
Like, how do we know? When are they scheduled, you know? Okay, so we get Frank coming to Regina's room, and he didn't find anything in the sink, which was not a surprise to us because we knew about that. He makes a joke about he finds the ring on her other hand because she makes a mistake and says, this hand was as bare as this hand. And he makes a joke and says, maybe it's the famous Mexican jumping ring.
I used to have one of those.
Mexican jumping ring. I thought that was interesting.
Is it famous? I never heard of that before.
I didn't either. And I was like, Mexican
I think it's famous.
Ring?
I need to have heard of it.
Like bean. Like I was thinking like jumping bean.
Well, Mexican jumping beans for sure. Yeah. That's a thing.
So that's where maybe it was just supposed to be a play on that or something.
Are we allowed to even say that nowadays? Is it just jumping beans? Can we specify a country or a people?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Mexican, South American, or Central American bean?
Yeah, you have to be very
broad.
Broad. Yeah, it's not.
We say Asian for.
You're less specific here.
We say Asian for billions of people. There are billions of people from Asia, and we call billions of people Asian.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be lumped in with every person on a specific continent.
Here we find out that here we find out that the plumber has the dreamiest eyes I've seen.
This is a good-looking man, good-looking plumber, but he's very dirty. He wears some dirty scrubs to the.
I thought it was interesting too. He had a couple buttons that could have been buttoned up for a plumber.
He was showing his chest hair there, saying like, "Look what's over here."
He's like, "I'll get that leak for you, or I'll find that ring in that pipe for you." But I also got something else, if you know what I'm saying.
So we're just at Isaac and Gopher putting the meat in.
This is the
Oh my God! This is like the
let me tell you
first of many attempts here.
But let me tell you something. I noticed that a lot of these scenes in the second half were faster. Like
is that what it was?
Like it was like we saw a lot of because here we get the animal. I don't know what's in there anymore because that's not just a regular dog taking that meat right there.
Because the stick that they put it on is all chewed up.
Yeah, it's like
there's a bear in there.
The Jaws is Jaws in there?
I think Gary Berghof's
remember
dead. Sorry, Radar.
They didn't show the shark that much in Jaws, right? I think we know why.
Hey, nighttime scene on a love boat. We don't see that a lot. Like the boat at night cruising with no lights on the back there.
That looks like a recipe for
that does not happen on boats these days.
Here we get a quick game of gin played by
people
PJ
that have played gin.
Senior.
Old people playing gin.
Also, guess what? She got him on a double schneid.
Double schneid. The old double schneid.
Do you know how much he owes her after this game?
Like, isn't it like $25,000 or something like that? It's
how many
crazy amount?
Or what were the stakes?
Why aren't they just playing strip gin or something like that? But all right, I won 3 games. That's $25,000 you owe me.
$25,000, and then he's like, "I'll help you peel those potatoes."
Peeling potatoes is not that hard. I've been a potato peeler in my life. It's not that hard.
Guess who meets up with Frank on the deck at 10 o'clock because they said that's where they could meet up, maybe.
Randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Jane Curtin's not wearing, she's wearing, she's a professor.
She looks like it, but
she's wearing professor clothes.
I know, but
she's like, I'm not looking hot. But
I guess maybe she wasn't really that too showy. Remember the Joanna Kearns gave her the bathing suit to wear?
She's not bringing clothes on here to look good.
Yeah. Here she looks almost that's not even business. Like, it's just weird.
With the pearls. It's
the
very
collar
very
and
strange
the pearls,
look.
right?
Almost Amishy looking.
Very Angus Young like.
Or that. Yes. Amish or Angus Young. Okay. And he's dressed in his blue shirt finest.
And he had a few buttons undone, and she wants to hear his poem because
if you have his chest, you're unbuttoning buttons.
I'll tell you what. When he read that poem, I didn't hear a word because his chest hair drowned me. I could not hear.
And his poem was basically, I like you, you like me,
he's like,
so let's get together and heedly-deedly-dee.
He's like, do you like me? Circle yes or no. Oh.
And she is smitten by his terrible third grade poetry.
He was doing hickory dickory Dice, come on our podcast.
Oh, my God. I got a book for you to sign. Oh, he signed it already.
No, we got that signed, yeah. So I guess we get Regina loves his poetry, and
as an English professor,
I want to say
she should hate his poetry.
I think so
his
as well.
His poetry is awful.
Basically,
his poetry is third grade poetry.
It's embarrassing that he came up on the deck at 10 o'clock, read this to a professor,
and he said, "Yeah, I don't have." Wait a minute, I got it right here. And he pulls it out and he reads his nonsense to her. Now
here's your favorite.
So
Morton,
now we switch to Morton
and Beth.
So the jerk and Jane, not Jane Curtin,
Maggie Seaver.
Maggie Seaver are dancing. She is.
Morton was counting off the steps here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2.
Is she a foot taller than him?
Yes, at least.
How tall is she? Because she towers over this guy. I mean, this guy should be embarrassed.
Do you think she's at least 5'10"?
At least 5'10".
He has to stand on,
unless he's on his knees during the scene, and then he stands up on the deck just to kiss her. Very stupid. I mean, I get it.
I got my producers in my ear here. Joanna Kearns is 5'8".
You're 5'8", really?
5'8", yeah.
So this guy's like 5 feet tall.
But is he playing 5'8"? I mean, he might be playing like.
Is he playing 5 feet tall? I play smaller. Maybe she's wearing heels. She's got 2 inches on him. Are you okay?
I got to talk to Christine. She called like twice.
Your wife is calling during our podcast.
I mean, it's shirtless Plumber right now.
We got shirtless Plumber. I guess we keep going?
Yeah, let's keep it going, right?
Shirtless Plumber.
Let me just find my notes here because I lost my notes.
See how important Brian is?
Morton and Beth are dancing.
As soon as he walks away, we're like, what do we do?
I did the fake producer in my ear thing. I was just joking. I didn't know he was going to leave.
He leaves. We were obviously incapable of doing this without him. So now we're at so now we know that Jane Curtin and the plumber have hooked up.
We missed PJ and Stubby watching a movie.
Oh.
And Stubby comes out, he says, people don't fall in love on one day like that.
Ah, yes.
When
they walked out real quickly.
Them, yeah.
Yes.
Everything all right?
It sounds like Brady might have dislocated his arm. They're bringing him over here.
Why here?
I gotta go check him out. I guess because I'll be the one bringing him to the hospital.
Get the hell out of here. What are they doing?
I don't know. I'll find out.
Can we pause this? And
wait. Possibly bruised what? Check. Two. Hey,
we might be podcasting now. I don't know.
Is it time? Is like the
thing? The counter's going up.
Let's do it. Let me just find myself in the notes here.
But I mean, we might just be wasting our time here. All right. There is a counter going up. It's at 38, 39, 40. Like something's recording. I hope it's not recording over what we already talked about. Like I'm hoping it's smart enough to know. Like, you've started enough.
It doesn't say an hour 12 anymore. It just says 1 minute now, like 2 minutes.
It's at 53 seconds now, 54. Like that might be good, bad. Like it might just be something that's spliced together. So let's give it. Let's give it like 2 seconds of quiet so we can tell Brian, hey, about the minute and 20-second mark.
Okay.
Look for it, and that'll be us talking.
Okay, so Frank's coming out of the bathroom here, and I wasn't sure which cabin he was in at first, and it ends up he's in his cabin.
Yeah, we don't know that he's actually even hooked up with Jane Curtin, and
because she's brushing her hair.
That ignorant slut is hooked up with him.
He walks out topless. She's brushing her hair, and what looks like maybe she's wearing like his night shirt, maybe possibly.
And as we know, this story ends up going. She's fallen in love way too fast. She's hooked up with this guy,
as well as Stubby.
As well as Stubby.
Yeah.
Everybody hooks up way too fast on the Love Boat.
I mean, I'm not sure how long this cruise was, but we've seen 5-day and I think 10-day cruises so far.
I feel they said 5 days on this one. I thought they said something about 5 days.
They may have. I didn't pick up on that, so it may have been said.
They went to Ricardo Montalban. What's it called? Montecito?
Brian's not here right now. Mazel
Tov. That's right, yes.
Yeah.
It's Mazel Tov.
So, again, like you were saying, Regina's fallen really hard here. He says he's been on the ship 7 years and he's never met a passenger until now, meaning that she's the first one.
What's that
really
mean for a person that lives, like he's been working as a plumber on this boat for 7 years. Does he get some alone time in LA? Does he do like you and I work a job and it's 8 hours and then we go home and then we get 8 hours of rest and relaxation?
I look at it this way. I look at like you see like a nurse will work 16-hour, like 12-hour days, 4 days in a row, but then she'll have off for 5 days or 4 days.
So do these guys get a week off for every week
they do
they're
a whole
on?
Cruise, then they're off the next cruise?
Yep.
Then they do the next cruise.
It might be that.
Yeah.
So
because that's a lot you're not just doing an 8-hour shift. I think you're 24 hours.
You're basically on, they say he's on call. Yeah. So he's basically on call this entire time, which, it sounds like a bad deal, but if you're off for a week too, then it's not that bad. You'll work a full week, you get off a week.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
No, I think...
I'm sure he's getting paid slave wages. But
and it could be fun. Like right now, we see the cruises going to the same places, that Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta.
The first time you go, you're like, great, awesome. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, I don't even need to go to those.
And I don't know how much changes, but I know we go to different locations throughout.
But it would be kind of fun, even early on in these episodes, if you just saw like Doc, especially since he's the player, like going to local places and being like a cheers. Like, Doc. And it's like, it's right.
When
Adam's in the house.
Or when they're doctor, like we see them at the Regal Beagle with Janet and like Chrissy, like that's not they're not far from there, right?
But
I mean,
when they go to these,
that was Santa Monica.
When they go to I don't know how far Santa Monica is from San Pedro, wherever they are here.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it was a question of them showing them at the local places that they go to, the people that we know. Just seeing Doc walk into a place like every once in a while and be like, "This is where Doc picks up his." Mexican brides.
Or like we see them at their local, like you said, they're just like known about town as like, hey.
They go to these places every single time, every single cruise. They would know.
And it seems like every cruise we're going to get, somebody had an old school chum.
That
or somebody had,
I
was in a band with this one. Or we're going to get like when I first saw that it was Stubing's father in this
Stubing's
episode,
dad.
I thought he was going to play his dad, or that's what I thought it was going to be at first.
Split part.
Before I saw what it was, yeah, maybe he would have played both roles or something. And maybe that is for maybe that
I kind of wish he did that.
Maybe that is in a different episode that I may have seen in the past that I'm just thinking of or whatnot. But even like. And then for some reason I thought there was an evil Stubing as well,
like with a goatee,
like maybe,
Star Trek.
Yeah,
evil?
like he's like I don't know if he's a criminal or whatnot, but yeah.
You think you know that? Like, is that happening?
I don't know. If I'm thinking it, we're writing this.
The evil Stubing episode. Julie, pick up that piece of paper.
I mean, we got a little taste of evil Stubing.
The first episode, the pilot,
evil,
yeah. Maybe that's where they got the idea. They're like, why don't we just go back to the
remember
original?
What we did when they said, this Three's Company episode, we did this one already? Okay, let's try this.
Other big whiteboard that they got going, and like, I can't do that again. I can't do that.
For continuity, right?
All
okay,
right,
so now we get, this I thought was interesting because they're going to drug the dog here with some beef and, Hold on, I wrote this one
the
down
captain's
here.
even involved now. Captain's down there with Isaac and Doc and Gopher, and they're going to put the best piece of prime rib, sirloin, into the cabin.
Doc says there's enough tranquilizer in here to put an elephant to sleep. It's not going to hurt the dog, though.
Yeah,
I would think that if there's enough tranquilizer to put an elephant to sleep, that's going to do some damage to a dog.
Or if not, where do we get these tranquilizers?
Yes, I got a few.
Because an elephant's probably
take that off the
thousands. Is it
offline? We'll talk about that.
Is an elephant 1,000 pounds?
I want to say no. Aren't they 2 tons?
Maybe. And that dog's like 50 pounds. So if it's enough to put an elephant to sleep, is going to slow that dog's heartbeat down to a beat a minute. That
dog is either dead or it's out for weeks. It's not coming back for a while. I mean, and now just to think about what. I'm jumping ahead.
Well, we know what's going to happen right now. As soon as they did this, I was like, I know what's going to happen.
I know, but I was jumping ahead to what happens with the very end.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so they're going to slide the meal in, which is. Do you want to take this part where this slapstick comedy right here?
Well, listen. So Doc puts a plate down, and someone shuffleboards it in.
But like, why would you not get the dog's attention?
It goes flying right past the dog, and Radar opens the bathroom door. He's like,
"I got it,
a gourmet meal. Thank you. I haven't eaten in 17 hours or whatever it is." He's just gonna eat.
You know, he couldn't wait for that top sirloin.
He's gonna eat this stupid like that's like. You could be hungry. A steak comes sliding across the floor. You're not eating that.
And also,
floor steak. You're not eating floor steak.
They turn this dog into just a dummy. He's like,
now all of a sudden he doesn't notice anything. Everything up to this point he's noticed everything. Radar can't move without this dog barking at him. And now all of a sudden the juicy sirloin goes flying right past him.
He takes that steak and he eats it.
Well, he hasn't eaten all day.
That's what I'm saying. He eats that thing almost whole. And
he's like, "Thanks for the food," and he immediately passes out.
Luckily, he kept his bed in the tub because he was sitting on the edge of the tub.
He passes out right into the piss couch there that you have.
I have to say, he looked a lot more comfortable there than he did the first time when he woke up.
Well, now he's tranquilized. He fell there.
Got himself a good sleep.
He's not feeling anything for a while.
Here we get
PJ's cooking.
The chef checked out.
See, she needs to have a cigarette in her mouth. She really does. She needs to have the cigarette hanging out of her mouth.
And a dirty hairnet.
Hairnet. And she's stirring, this is my sauce.
So she's stirring the soup. I was soup or sauce or whatever. The chef tastes it and approved. He was like, "Oh, okay," and walks away. And then Stubby made a good line. Stubby says, "You look ship-shaped today." And PJ said, "I know, I'm shaped like a ship." she took the joke away from everybody else. Stubby says she's attractive. PJ says you got to get your eyes, go see Doc and get your eyes checked. Gopher comes in and compliments her, and she accepts it.
But it doesn't matter. That means nothing to her.
And then she's trying to tell Stubby that it doesn't matter. And then he realizes, oh, it does matter from me. So there's like, they like each other, but they don't want to be the one lovey-dovey towards the other. They want to be the dominant in the relationship there, right?
Someone's a dominant. There's always one.
Phil Silvers got cucked here.
Go for cucked. The PJ's down got the flowers in her hair.
Also had a problem with. I like Phil Silvers is great, but he had no lenses in his glasses. That bothered me.
He didn't have lenses.
There's no lenses. That bothered me.
I remember a million years ago, like talking about Superman with my dad, and I was like, So does Clark Kent have lenses in his glasses? Because he doesn't need lenses to see. And he's like, no, he probably doesn't have lenses.
That's just to hide his identity.
And I was like, but you can tell if there are no lenses, right? I wore glasses when I was young.
That makes him stick out more, right? Like, hey, why is that guy not wearing any lenses in his glasses?
Which brings me to the awesome post-game press conference when the Miami Heat finally won a championship, when LeBron finally bought himself a championship.
He took his talents to South Beach.
And all those idiots were up on the dais giving their post-game press conference, and they were all wearing glasses. But they were
and they were all
obviously lensless. I was like, "Are you idiots?
Do you know what
idiots?
Do you know what I think of when I see anybody wearing those glasses like that? I automatically think of like the Groucho glasses.
It's a costume,
with the big
fake mustache and eyebrows and a nose,
and then you get the cigar. And
you know what I think of when I see LeBron James? Not as good as Michael Jordan.
I have to agree with you there.
I mean,
and when I
still
see Michael,
not
when
in
I see
2021.
Michael Jordan in a Hanes commercial with a Hitler mustache, it's okay.
I say, hey, 6 championships. Where are all your Hitler mustaches? Am I pro-Hitler? I'm not pro-Hitler.
I don't think you are.
No, I'm certainly not pro-Hitler.
I'm going on the record
Michael
right
Jordan
now.
might be.
He is not pro-Hitler.
Michael Jordan might be, but he won 6 championships.
Do you think he was suspended? Is that why he took that little gap?
The 2-year baseball gap because of his pro-Hitler standings?
No, because of he was going to get suspended for gambling.
Oh, for real life?
Yeah,
I think he got suspended for gambling. And
I
they
think
said go play baseball.
And they're like, hey, you're
but
awesome.
Maybe he was
we can keep this quiet.
also a Hitler fan.
That could, I mean, there
back then they wouldn't have suspended you.
But wouldn't they have picked that up in that 10-part docuseries? I think that we got a little something on there. They didn't touch on the Hitler at all in that. So
the Hitler episode.
Well, here we get Stubing was speaking Spanish.
He was
in the beginning of this
very badly.
Yeah,
very me gusta como está.
And for some reason, I was like, "What in the world are we even doing? What is he doing? Why is this even happening?" Julie comes into his office as he's doing that
because he wasn't speaking Spanish to the dog wrangler here
or any of the crew.
It was just at the end of the conversation, like gracias, de nada.
Eat somebody with
como está
tranquilizer gun. El tranquilizer gun.
El tranquilizer. He was speaking very American Spanish.
We get Julie mentions, or again, the captain was talking Spanish. Flanders hasn't woken up. Julie says he's going to be pissed, and they're trying to think of some ideas. I'm sorry, radar. Some ideas to like comfort him and make sure he's okay. And we find out that this cruise is going to Mazatlan here.
Where's it going?
Mazatlan. Mazatlan. That's it. Because
I'm sorry to correct you. You probably said it right the first time. I can't say it right the first time.
Stubing was talking to the ASPCA in Mazatlan.
I'm sure Mexico's got a very strong ASPCA there.
So they got a guy coming aboard tomorrow with a tranquilizer gun, and there's a joke about 2 shots for one.
Did I miss that? I think I missed
2 shots. They said, let's get 2 shots, one for the dog and one for Flanders.
I think I missed that.
Yeah, and then Captain was talking here about how happy he is that Julie kept his father away. And Julie starts saying, oh, he's met someone, and Captain basically says, shut up, I don't want to know about it.
Do we know? We don't know at this point in the life of Captain Stubing where his mom is, right? She's alive, dead,
no, we got
divorced.
So far, we've gotten his father here, and we've had his ex-wife. That's it.
We know his daughter's coming.
Yeah. So then Julie says that he's met someone, so Captain says have him and her at his table tonight.
Captain's table.
So since he's been ignoring his dad, he's going to have him sit at his table tonight.
With the help?
And here it comes. We jumping ahead a little bit here.
We don't have to jump ahead. What are they talking about this whole time?
This whole time they're talking about this was in Julie's telling him about trying to tell him about his dad, and he kept blowing it off. And
we're usually so far behind when I look up, and then I look up and they're still talking. Your dad, yes, yeah. With a person, there's a girl.
There's probably like a couple of jokes in there. That this is where we found the location. Yeah, so that's all I had with that. And then Captain dismisses Julie, and then we find out that Doc and Toby makes a joke saying that they have 6 marriages combined.
Yes, good one.
And Doc says we got to keep doing it till I get it right.
So does she.
Yeah, she's 2. She's a lot younger.
She's like
than
25
him.
years old. Yeah. She had 2 marriages already. Not good. Not good.
She looked good here though.
Yeah, and she's nobody. She never did anything, huh?
Nothing. Yeah.
Very interesting. Doc, man. Doc is such a lech, man.
Captain's excited for his dad, and I think he makes a joke here about Julie getting her elbows off the table.
Because his dad had said something to him earlier about that, right?
Yeah. And
now, does Julie always get to eat at the captain's table? Not, right?
not always, because like Brian was saying that she sits with some of her friends sometimes, or even with some of the crew.
Right.
I thought it was weird because they were supposed to have dinner with his dad, but they were already eating. Like, they started before his dad and PJ. PJ, she cleaned up well.
And the dad is wearing a different jacket now. He has a whole separate tuxedo for his cruise.
Shouldn't Stubing know that she's retiring?
Yes.
And like,
for sure.
For him to be this rude to her, I thought
he's even if she wasn't retiring, the crew does not eat with it.
This was pilot Stubing here.
He is whatever your feelings of your father are. He's invited this woman to eat with you guys. And he's
Julie just told you how
the crew does not eat with the passengers. Yeah, very, very poor on Professor Captain Stubing.
I'm sure we do get the professor in an episode or two coming up.
Damn, I was going to say something before. Shit.
I apologize, but so Stubby and PJ end up leaving because they're the ridiculousness of Stubing here, and Julie basically just says, "Are you okay?" to Meryl, and that's it. I mean, it's just a weird scene. That's a rough scene. Like, that's bad for his character.
It does not show well on him for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then we got Toby and Maggie Seaver talking about the romance roulette, or as everybody else on the planet calls it, hooking up.
Yep.
On a cruise.
And just saying, "Hey, I'm going back to my room, my apartment. You got to go back to your house. Hey, it was nice meeting you, Morton. Oh, you're going back to Hackensack? Have fun."
They're basically saying like, "Well, this was fun, and we both banged our guys, and you got the Doc, and I got the short guy."
Yeah, they're talking here about how they have just tomorrow, and then the next day, and then they go home, and that's it.
God, that sounds like me on a vacation. After today and tomorrow, we only have like 2 days left.
And they say that Regina needs to dump the plumber or something to make a joke about his wrench. And the plumber is
lurking in the shadows. And then he lights his pipe.
I thought the pipe lighting was perfect.
Like, really? That was so funny.
He
just comes out with the pipe, smoking like,
How do we wrap up this episode?
I have uncovered their plot to deceive me into banging a hot woman and her never talking to me ever again.
And then instantly after, guess who she comes out up?
With the flowers in her hair again.
She looks great here.
Not as Amish looking, but the guy taking this, how dare you manipulate my emotions? How dare you just want to have sex with me and then never talk to me again? How dare you try to do this to me? I am wounded. And now you're just going to leave and never talk to me again? No guy would ever react like this. That dude would have been like, I'm going to bang her one more time, and then the cruise is over, and then good for me.
He gave her another poem there, too. He said, "Fun is fun, but now it's done. Stick that in your scrapbook," is what he said.
another second. Now he's second grade poems. Like, before this is over, he's going to be like, "Roses are red, violets are blue."
It was so bad.
Oh.
I mean, that was just horrible.
Oh, my God. Just pause it for a second, please. Pause. Okay, because I don't want to miss this right here, but this guy is reacting completely awful to Jane Curtin wanting to dump him technically.
And then letting Jane Curtin say a word there to say, "Hey, yeah, we had a stupid game. Yeah, but guess what? I like you, dude.
Or be like, dude, we have been on a cruise ship for 5 days. We are not in love," because that does not happen in real life. But again, Love Boat. Okay, fine. They have fallen in love after him giving her the old screwdriver, as they say. But nonsense that this guy's reacting this way. How dare you? I'm hurt.
You affected my poetry.
I've been on this boat for 7 years without a woman, and now you are breaking my heart.
Like, you would think a guy that would be acting that childish would have been trying to hook up with girls all the time on this boat.
Well, he said he didn't hook up with anybody on the boat. Maybe there's like a bunch of Mexican women on Puerto Vallarta and Mazel Tov and stuff like that he's hooking up with in Cabo. He might have a family in L.A. We don't even know. as we discussed before, maybe it's a week on, week off.
Can I just say something about the scene we're about to see here? If there's something there was something I want to mention about.
I hope you want to mention what I want to mention.
Maybe you see I have something circled here. A horrible laugh track.
Oh, well, the laugh track is always awesome.
But it was just Stubing. So Stubing arrives. Stubby arrives in Stubing's cabin, and he goes, "What an unexpected bummer."
Stubby, Captain Stubing.
I'm sorry. Stubing arrives at Stubby's.
Stubing arrives at Stubby's.
Yeah.
Right.
Stubby arrives at Stubing's cabin, and he says, "What an unexpected bummer. Come in." As he says, "Come in," that's when the horrible laugh track went. It was like it was not a laugh.
But what's going on in his room here? He's got some kind of curtain in the middle.
I thought it was a show curtain,
like when you're in gym class and they pull the
shower.
They divide the gym.
No, you
class
know what it is
into?
when you're in an emergency
or
room.
The doctor. Yep. Brian, I hope you're okay right now with your son.
Like, oh man, you hear what happened to the guy over there? I think he's losing his leg.
Brian just took Brady to the hospital. He's very fragile. I hope he makes it through.
You saw the arm? Was it like?
Yeah, it was a little banged up. He jammed on the rim and came down hard on his elbow. He landed hard.
They can hit the rim. So
yeah, these kids are gigantic. It's ridiculous. I'm as tall as them, but I'm a foot away from the rim. It really sucks. Anyway,
all right. So,
Phil Silvers, Stubby.
Yep. So we get Stubing coming in to apologize. It's a quick apology, I thought. Stubby mentions how he asked PJ to be his wife, so it's not just some random crew member that he's like shagging up with or whatnot.
I guess you have to go into these Love Boat episodes expecting that everybody is falling in love for life.
Also,
that's the only way any of these stories make sense. Where, oh my God, you met somebody yesterday. Let's get married.
You were just asking about what is this curtain? It's where PJ's hiding behind there. So we got
for sure. And I knew that. I knew as soon as that curtain was there, I'm like, well, obviously she's going to come out behind that. But why is there a curtain in their room?
I don't get that either. Maybe that I could see if like he was sharing a room with somebody, like they needed privacy. But that doesn't make sense.
I have a curtain in my bedroom, but that's because my wife doesn't want to look at me while I'm in bed. She like pulls it between the bed. She's like,
oh, I forgot you live here.
You on your curtain side? I'm coming out of the bathroom. You on your curtain side? I'm like, I'm good.
Is your curtain closed?
Good. I'm over here. Yeah, it makes no sense that he has a curtain.
That he doesn't have any lenses here.
No, I gotta look at this again. Then why would he wear the glasses?
The glasses are what makes him who he is, I think. But there's no lenses.
But they make non-focal lenses, right? Where they're just, I guess, basically like dummies.
Is his prescription too thick to where it would where it would ruin like it would be a glare?
Like they're so thick,
Coke bottle like.
So was he wearing contacts with fake glasses?
It just bothered me because it always bothered me when Raj didn't have his lenses in on.
Man, I don't notice that. I have to start. I really have to start taking notice of that.
Yeah. So here's where PJ was behind a curtain. It also looks like an auditorium in school. Like that was the
yes. The curtain where it's like, I've now emerged from the curtain. Don't do drugs, kids.
Oh, it's McGruff Day. It's like, Officer Friendly's here today.
And she says, like, we're not getting married, right?
She storms off. Yeah, it's over. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't stand it. You got a son like that. Oh.
So now they're in Mediterra.
We got
where are we at? Monte Carlo?
The cartel has boarded the boat.
Where are we?
We're Mazatlan.
And
we get our snipers.
A sniper. He's got a goddamn rifle.
Look at this. And then
instead of like a little like pistol, pew, he's got a rifle. Don't hurt the dog.
Is he shooting a rhino here? What's going on?
And look at the height of that thing. He's aiming 6 feet in the air.
He's shooting over Radar's head. Radar wasn't that tall. But we find out that they had a litter.
Wait, Radar and the dog had a litter.
Radar and the dog had a litter.
So the dog was pregnant. That's why
the door opens. Don't shoot.
That's why she was being so.
Flanders delivered a litter of puppies.
And the puppies are named
Doc, Julie, Gopher, and Isaac.
Yeah, nice.
And then it said, there's a bald one on the end, and that's where he says, don't say.
But
there's only 4 puppies there.
Second ball joke. Doc or Captain's not one of them. Yeah. And did he ever even meet Isaac? He met Julie and Doc when he first got on board.
Yeah.
So he never met Isaac or Gopher. And yet he has named 2 of these dogs Isaac and Gopher. As soon as he said that, I was like, he didn't meet any of these people. Because, well, maybe he met Isaac when he was
they did
putting
bring the beef.
when they were shoving the meat in, but he didn't actually meet them face to face. I don't know. It was very silly how he said these names. I was like, oh, isn't that cute?
And you were there, and you were there.
Ray Bolger last week. Ray Bolger was there.
At least you got the date right on this one.
What's
You're
that
like,
mean?
The twins last week, I was like, that's 4 episodes.
Oh, well, sorry. To me, everything happened last week. If it happened 6 months ago, it happened last week.
Every episode of The Love Boat happened at the same time. So
We've
here
been
we go.
podcasting for a week, yet we have 16 episodes.
Toby and Beth storm into
God damn, Maggie Seaver is a tall woman. She is
5'8".
She cannot be 5'8". These people are they're 5'2".
Real quick, while you were upstairs, I looked it up. Morton, 5'7".
Wait, the guy's 5'7"? She's not an inch taller than him. There's no way she is 6 inches at least.
She's wearing probably big heels, and he's probably wearing flats, and he could be hunched over a little
I think
bit.
your 6'8's wrong.
I never said 6'8".
For her.
5'8".
5'8". You know what I mean?
I know. I was like, what about
Is she
he's
fucking
talking on his
Manute
LeBron.
Sorry. I mean 5'8". I'm sorry. But she's not. She's definitely taller than 5'8". She is gigantic.
I want Joanna Kearns to come to Chiller Theater now, don't you?
I would love to meet her and be like, "How tall?" I got to stand up next to you. I'm a tall person. If I stood next to her, I think she would tower over me.
I'm trying to. I might be changing my mind because I was thinking about getting a Zapped poster of Scott Baio. I think I might get a picture of the Pacific Princess Love Boat and just
start getting people that are still currently alive. Oh man,
or part of the crew.
That is awesome.
That's a good idea.
It's got to be a big. It's got to be like a poster size, like 36 by 24. Yeah.
I think of just the ship. So there's like no pictures of people on it or anything, just the ship and like whatever, maybe Mazatlan in the background.
Man, I'm thinking of killing you right now and stealing that idea. I like that idea a lot.
Well, you can get your own. I mean, that's
can I do it too?
You can do one too. Yeah,
I was just gonna steal it.
That's why, like, when I got Burt Reynolds' autograph on the Cannonball Run poster, like I thought about getting the Smoking Debate vehicle, having him sign one of those. He was signing the cars. Cool. Too. I went with the poster. I should have got the car, but.
Yeah, because the cars were specific to him. Cannonball Run, you get a bunch of people for that.
Same reason. I passed on Ernest Borgnine one year at Chiller, and he died a couple years later or whatever.
You know, you don't. Sometimes there's people that you don't even understand their importance until years later. Ernest Borgnine's one of those guys for sure. Like he was McHale's Navy. Yeah. That's all he was. But I know him now from much more stuff.
Yeah, like SpongeBob. He does.
And he did your movie.
I know, Basketball.
I
was leading up to that, but he also did a movie called Super Fuzz. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, sure.
When the guy was a cop, but he couldn't see red because if he saw red, it took his powers away. He had powers, because he was really fast. He ran really fast, but and he pulled over a truck one time, and it was lined with red inside. And that took away his power, so he thought he was seeing drugs and something gambling going on inside, but it was just a bunch of fish.
Yeah, who's the guy in that?
Super Fuzz. Ernest Borgnine's in that.
Yeah, but I forget
star. The star is what's his name? It's right at the top of my head here. And I don't have my phone.
Love Boat, exciting and new.
Oh yeah, Terrence Hill.
I don't know him. In my mind, he's somebody else. You sure he's not William Catt or someone like that?
No, you're thinking of Greatest American Hero there, yeah. But no, yeah.
He could do other things.
Yeah, but Ernest Borgnine was one of them. And that's why John Astin, I made sure I got that one. I wanted to get that signature. And I got him as the Riddler.
I hope we're really recording this episode because it would suck if Brian went to the hospital. We don't have
Brian's got to listen to it too and be like,
you guys were really great.
He said,
second half.
He said, no, you guys did figure out how to record. Yeah, I had to listen to it.
I learned to record by just smashing buttons. As I've learned on most of my jobs at work, just smash buttons until things work.
First it was working. You're like, okay, it's counting up. Then next thing, the voices, I heard my voice talking again. And then there was no mics. And then it's recording. So here we are.
It started counting down from 10, and I go, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So, yeah, Toby and Beth are saying, how dare you do this to Regina?
Oh, are we talking about Love Boat now?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Regina they wanted Regina to do this to him, but now that they found out that Regina really likes him.
Although, how would we know that? We didn't see her interact with them and say, I really loved him, and then he broke my heart. And
we didn't see any interaction with Toby, Beth, and the plumber, except when Toby called him, and then they left the room.
Right.
So they
but
didn't
it's just so silly that they don't like. Sometimes I love about yada yadas over stuff that there should have been a good episode where Jane Curtin came back to their room and was like, "But I know we were playing stupid Russian roulette, but now I really love him." And
goes to show you where maybe 3 stories is too much. They should just do 2 stories.
Usually, the Gary Berghof, the Radar O'Reilly story is so stupid in this.
Yeah.
Again, going back to there's always one stupid plot. 2 strong plots.
That was definitely bad.
2 strong plots are better than 3. Well, 2 weaker plots because they don't talk about them as much, and then 1 just so dumb plot. So dumb plot.
I'm sorry. I still just think Toby looks amazing in this.
He still got his oh, sorry. Toby's not the guy.
Yeah, Toby's.
I was looking at the guy.
Yeah, the guy is Frank.
Sorry. Call him Plumber.
We'll call him Plumber.
But Toby's confusing. I know
so here,
Toby's.
This is where they're still arguing. I believe Regina storms in, right?
I just can't get over the fact
how
how
kicks them out.
Maggie Seaver is.
Well, let's see when Jane walks into the room here. Like Toby's a little shorter than Maggie here,
but look how tall Maggie Seaver is to Toby.
I honestly think they were making Morton look shorter because, like, here comes Jane.
Is he like acting in a box? Is he doing like when you act against?
He could be standing,
acting against
lower.
Tom Cruise or Robert Downey Jr. You act in a hole.
See how much taller she is than Jane there.
So Jane Curtin's probably like 5'4". He's 5'5". They're about the same height.
So she's 5'8".
She's a monster.
She's 5'8".
Nah, she's taller than that.
You think she's 6? I don't think she's 6 foot. Maybe in the heels, yes.
Well, why is she wearing them on this?
She's 5'8". Look, she's 5'8", and she could be wearing 6-inch heels, so she could be 6'2". Right?
She's like, then it'd be eye to eye to her.
So then
that'd be awesome.
So then she's 6'2", and then
that's Brian texting us right now saying, "Are you guys okay?" We have no idea, Brian. We're still continuing this podcast,
Brian. We have no idea what's going on here.
Whether we have any idea what we're doing, who knows?
We're saying words and they're coming out, but we're not sure they're being recorded.
We might just be talking for ourselves.
As Jane talks to Frank here and says that he admits he knows about the romance roulette. She apologized. She doesn't want to say goodbye. She doesn't want to lose him. They love each other.
Love boat love. I've never thought of Jane Curtin as like a hot woman, like Saturday Night Live.
I watched Kate and
Allie. Yeah. I mean, not ugly, but never hot. But she's looking hot right here.
She definitely is hot here. And especially she holds up next to Toby and Joanna Kern. So like when the 3 of them together, she's not like she doesn't look like the ugly one.
She's definitely not that
really good. Yeah.
I guess maybe like sometimes when you're on Saturday Night Live, you just like you don't look as sexy because you're doing stupid things like Jane, you ignorant.
She's wearing a cone on her head.
Or that would drop you down a few pegs. Although my wife has a cone on her head. That's weird.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
His wife never has a second cup of coffee.
Stubing, Julie, discussing the upcoming nuptials of his dad. Can I call you Dad?
Captain here asks Julie to make sure that his dad's at his table for dinner.
Oh, we're not even there yet.
That's this one where he says, "I don't care if it takes wild horses." This is the second dinner that he's requesting him at.
Yeah, no.
He requested him one other time.
I know where we are. I'm just remembering now how much longer we have on this episode.
We do get right after this. We're going to get Radar eating soup and bread, making up for lost time. Is what Stubing says to him, but he says, "No, I'm just filling up a doggy bag."
He says that, but he should have said for doggies or something like that. He
and
he
only grabs one
that.
piece of bread, and then he stopped. It's almost like
we know the puppies have been born. We know the dog is okay now, so you would think they would have actually.
It's a very sad dinner too, because like Radar has a bit of a Hitler mustache going here. I just noticed. But Stubing makes that joke to Radar here, and then you get Stubby's just sitting there sad, eating or pushing his food around, not really eating. And PJ arrives, and Stubing makes a toast to her 40 years on the sea and to her retirement.
Yes, although
she devoted her life to sea, and now he's going to become the captain's stepmom.
It's a little too late, but
it was weird how PJ said, "Don't call me mom," too.
And she says, "Don't call me mom," and then he
the captain
says,
"Mom."
Ma.
Yeah.
But we need to know who Stubing's mom is. We need that. Oh, damn.
Do you want me to pause?
No, I don't need to do anything.
Is that from Brian?
I've apparently been texting voice to text the entire podcast for a while.
Is it to Brian? Send it.
So
that's great.
I didn't realize I don't even know how I did that. I did it by accident. I do a lot of things on my phone by accident because I'm just
I know. I think maybe
dumb old man.
A month or so ago, I got a call from you. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I just smashed buttons.
What's he calling me for?
Like I did to set this podcast up tonight. Smash buttons until they work.
I was like, why in the world would you call me? Just text.
And did I say anything, or was it my butt talking?
It was like
to
you
you?
heard like stuff in the background or whatever. I was like, yeah, let me get 2 number ones. Large. You can have Coke with the 1 and a root beer with the other.
Apparently, I've sent some live photos where you hear my dinner requests in the background of that too.
Yeah, you know who sends the live photos? Anthony does all the time.
But
it's
I
like
do
music
too.
playing in the background. Yeah, I turned that off a while ago.
Apparently, there's a way to turn that off. I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so so this was the whole captain and mom thing here, and then
so during this conversation, it just happened right there. During this conversation, he's like, "Congratulations, my new mom, dad, blah blah blah," and then they go to radar real quick, where he's just like, he's like licking up the soup. He's like, "How?"
Remember, he hasn't eaten.
I know, but it was just so funny how they kind of like went. Everybody's standing. Everybody's giving a toast.
There was no need to do that.
It was a weird cut. It was a cut that probably didn't happen in the actual script, where they're just like, go back to radar and show him like lapping up the soup, or he's just like, that's it, because they just had it where it just went to radar for a second. Very silly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We even get a kiss. He even kisses his
Stubing
new stepmom
kisses
here.
it.
Yeah. And
I would have never kissed you as my cook, but I will kiss you as my stepmother.
Just a few minutes ago, I said you can't eat near me, but let me give you a kiss on the cheek.
How dare you eat up here?
We're gonna get Toby saying goodbye to Doc here, and
Doc is all in on it. He's like, so he said screwdriver, and you fucked me. Also,
the Groucho impersonation here, and but I thought he did Groucho as Gabe Kaplan doing Groucho. That's how I picked it up.
I think he did Groucho as Bernie Capel would do Groucho.
Bernie Capel and Gabe Kaplan, please come on our podcast.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. And now
look at the height difference. He's got heels on here.
But dude, he
might be 5.
That is a 6-inch difference right there between them getting off here. She is towering over him.
But also, it's a great scene right there because he's like bored with her already, kind of like.
Oh yeah, he's like, get my bags, let's go.
It's just a.
It's a man's world.
Kind of there.
It's a man's world. He's this ugly, stumpy guy, and there's this hot blonde over his shoulder.
That also was my only elevator scene.
That was it.
They come off the elevator. Okay. That's our only elevator scene for this.
Why didn't she break up with him and break his heart? Wasn't that
she
the
fell
game?
For him. That was
Russian
the game.
roulette.
Romance roulette.
But why
backfired?
So Doc gets dumped and the other two don't. Doc,
2 out of 3.
You're dumping Doc and the stumpy guy and the plumber get.
From what I've seen of Doc, I'm dumping him.
But if you're one of these girls and you see that your other girlfriends are marrying, getting engaged to right now in the scene right now, as she's giving her a ring, she's getting engaged to the plumber.
That goes to your whole thing. Way too early.
And where did he get the ring? Did he actually fish it out of another sink?
He did find it.
And so he's giving her a ring.
That would have been a nice plot twist,
and
though.
Maggie Sievers.
I found this in Mr. Stubing Senior's, or Mr. Stubby's.
This is one of his cock rings. I don't know if you know that he's into that. But so she's getting married, and the other one's in love with the stumpy guy, and the other one's like, all right, Doc, I got to break up with you. I'd like to be married to a Doc, but my friends are welching on this stupid game we play of let's hook up with the guys.
Going
and
back
break
to
up
the
with
ring
them.
real quick. Frank says, I'll write every other day. They did it. She's like, no, you'll write a poem every other day. You write me every day. And he said, I took another look at that drain, and that's when he says he pulled that out. Like, it was cheesy.
All his poems are, I have not seen you in years. When we get together, we'll have beers. It's that those are his poems. Also, I could do that every other day too.
Also, we get Stubby and PJ. They're gonna stay. They're gonna set up shop there in San Pedro. And if he has any issues with the boat at any time, he'll be readily available for him.
And the captain asks him if he knows his frequency, the boat's frequency, and he says no. And he's like, "That's nice."
Flanders radar here says he got a lot of sleep, lost 13 pounds. They gave him a free cruise.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that halfway through. If I was the guy stuck in the room, I would have been like, I'm getting a free cruise out of this.
Something out of this. Yeah,
this sucks.
I'm suing or a free cruise.
Yep.
And I'm getting upgraded to the best.
And this dog
cabin.
walks out with a basket with his puppies in it. This is the
How's this dog
most
trained?
well-trained dog.
How
This
is this dog holding everybody? How vicious that dog was when Julie opened the door.
Well, she was pregnant at the time.
But also Julie opened the door. It was so vicious. And now it's like
But
so
now
sweet.
she's given birth, so she's nicer now. But that dog comes out with the puppies in a basket. And at first I thought, this is obviously fake dog. It's stuffed animals in there. But the dogs are all moving in there. I was like, really? I'm like, that's crazy. And they're all going with radar. He says, come on, mother. And the dog comes.
Yeah, I guess we never got a name for the dog.
Well, now it's
and
mother,
the dog
apparently.
wasn't even credited. Like, I thought there might have been a...
You didn't say like Rin Tin Tin or something like that?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, oh, Buck. Remember Buck?
Buck. Oh, Buck. Love Buck.
He almost made it through the whole series.
And he didn't die before the end. They just kind of retired him.
Yeah. But I thought I enjoyed the episode. It was fun.
Yeah, the radar thing was dumb, but the other two were good. The captain with his dad and the three girls playing the game of let's bang
romance roulette
cruise persons and then break up with them, which apparently they have a name for and everybody else in the world has, just like one-time hookup.
Yeah, like so what happens on this cruise stays on this cruise kind of thing, right?
Except for some of these people, it didn't. They're like taking it back with them. How long do you think Maggie Seaver stayed with that guy? That dopey looking nerd.
I'm telling you right now, they lived happily ever after.
No way. No way they're raising kids. He's bringing her to like the PTA meetings.
They have a house in the valley.
Is his name Jason Seaver?
I'm going to give you some guest stars for next week's episode.
Are we already there? Oh,
yeah,
my God. It's only been 3 hours.
We're coming down to the end. This might be our longest podcast ever. And Brian, we do not know how to end it.
Yeah, I'm just smashing buttons until it stops.
We have next week Ava Gabor. She's she died. She's the one that died first.
Yeah, so that's Jaja's sister. I don't know what she's from though.
Ava Gabor, Green Acres.
Oh, she's Green Acres. I thought Jaja was Green Acres.
Oh, this says Green Acres here. The Rescuers, the Aristocrats. She did a lot of animated stuff.
Man, I could have sworn Jaja was Green Acres. Okay.
Al Molinaro.
Oh, Happy Days.
Yes. So
Al.
There's going to be Happy Days right now. Yeah.
Really? What's he doing on this? Okay, that's
now
fine.
This is November of '77. This is an episode, so this is pre-airplane Leslie Nielsen next week.
So I wonder if this is Leslie Nielsen at
Serious
first
Nielsen, right?
trying to stretch his comedic chops, because
or
of
is it a
course,
serious role for him as well? He could have a serious role here.
there's no serious roles on Love Boat.
Yeah,
I think
I mean, not serious, but they're not playing.
well,
jokes.
it's not going to be Frank Drebin, but
but remember that guy that was like his wife went on the cruise and she ended up hooking up with the guy Dennis Cole.
Oh.
That was following her around.
bummer.
Yeah,
Not a good one.
but the guy, her husband, that could be the kind of role. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know, like a serious role.
Maybe he'll fall down and make us laugh.
Robert Urich.
Okay, I know him. He doesn't he end up becoming Captain Steubing many years later?
And the new Love Boat, yeah. That looks like I'll have to dig into the others because I want to say, knowing that was who you knew him from, Morton.
Oh, the jerk!
Me knowing that.
Oh my God!
When I wrote that
down,
made
the episode. As soon as you said
you
that,
didn't know, I was like, oh, maybe it is the jerk that he didn't know. And I think I might have. And that was fun. That was fun. No, and you were like, yes.
I'm so glad you said that because I was like, I know this guy. I've seen him in something, and he is from The Jerk.
And I was excited because he was in Hello Larry. I wanted to bring up that reference.
I've never seen Hello Larry. Good stuff. I don't know how to end this.
I'm gonna say this has been the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy. Brian's not here.
But wait, you'd have to pause because it'd be like, and that's Brian because he'd have to.
I don't know how to end it.
Yep, that's. I think that's.
Let me look and see if there's a stop button here.
Or wait, it still says 1 minute and 12 seconds.